everyone, it's Anya here and I'm back with another video for Ophelia Talks. And today we are making fingerless gloves. Now I wanted a way of practicing my ribbing, and when it turned really cold in the UK all of a sudden, I really wanted some gloves, because going outside, using your phone and wearing proper gloves is just impossible because you have to take the gloves off all the time. So I thought if I could come up with a project with a glove that is fingerless but that still keeps your hands warm. So this is two birds with one stone. We are making a glove, fingerless gloves, for using our phone outside, and we are practicing our ribbing. So this can be a very speedy project. I am going to get started straight away, and I will be giving you all the details about all the types of gloves I have made throughout the tutorial. So this is Wendy Husky Super Chunky. I'm using an 8 and I'm going to show you the speediest version of this glove. So let's get started with making our slip knot. Insert your hook, close the loop, and we're going to do foundation double crochet. So that means we're going to get started by doing 3 chains, 1, 2 and 3, and then we are going to get started on doing our foundation double crochet. So that means you yarn over for your double crochet, but then you do the foundation first. So that means going into the first chain here, and I'm picking up 2 strands there. You pull through the working yarn so you have a loop, and it's with this loop here that you're going to make your chain. So first of all we need to do a chain. So yarn over again and do a chain. Keep an eye on this chain because we will need it for the next stitch. You are now going to yarn over again and do your double crochet. So pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So this is our first foundation double crochet done. Here you could put a stitch marker just so that you remember that this is the last stitch that you need to use when you come back. So now for the next foundation double crochet, you yarn over for the double crochet. You go into that chain that we made earlier. So try on the side, turn it towards you and find those 2 strands. So pick up 1 and pick up the second strand. There we go. You're going to pull up a loop, and with that loop you're going to first of all make a chain, and now you're going to do your double crochet. So this is what it looks like now. And this is what you are going to continue doing until your first row here, your foundation double crochet row, is the length that you require. So you're going to measure this on the widest part of your hand, and if it fits around it snugly, that's when you stop. Okay, now I'm going to keep doing this while I tell you that in fact this pattern is easily adapted to other yarns. So you do your foundation double crochet until it fits around your hand. So if you are using a thinner yarn, you will be doing more stitches. You will be doing more foundation double crochets. I will be using 16 stitches. So I will be doing 16 foundation double crochets, and that will make my piece of work here long enough to go around my hand. Look, it's nearly the length of my hand, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm halfway. Okay, so this is what you'll need to do. So for other yarns that you are using, you will of course be using the hook that you usually use for that yarn, or that is prescribed if that's the case. I will give you all the numerical information you need per yarn thickness for each glove at the end of this video, ready for you to screenshot. Please do keep watching the video because I give you all the tips and tricks you need to make these gloves. So for the Aran version, I did 32 foundation double crochets, and for the double knitting version, the DK version, I did 30 foundation double crochets, but my gloves in DK are narrower and that one fits a little bit more snugly than these ones. It doesn't really matter, they all fit nicely, so it doesn't really matter, but just make sure that when you hold this together like this, you can actually get your... See, I could get away with this, but this is not comfortable to put on, okay? So make sure that when you close it up like this, you can get in and out quite easily. So I need to do a few more stitches because that did not feel right. Of course, we sell all this yarn on our website in all the colors that there are available. So do go and have a look at the colors that we have. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, that's 16. Okay, so this is 16. Now you have to make sure you have an even number of stitches. And because I have 16 now, if I do a slip stitch, I'm going to have too many. So let's get rid of that last one here. Then you go over to the start of your work here. You're going to skip these stitches here. This was the starting chain. Then you go under this V here, but you must make sure your yarn is above. So holding on to your yarn like so, making sure the end is down and this is not twisted. You're going to go under the first V, skipping those 2 chains, and you're going to do a slip stitch. This has now made that this chain here has now become a stitch and the top is a V. So count your stitches again, making sure you have an even number. I have indeed got 16 stitches. So this will be closed up when we weave in this end here. So don't worry about that now. So now we are going to do 2 chains, and then you're going to start doing double crochets under every V. So you pick up both the strands and you do a double crochet. There we go. And I'm going to keep going until I have a glove that is long enough. So what I want to see is the glove covering this part of my hand, obviously, but also here. So depending on how long you want your glove, you need to make this part longer. So with this one here, as an example, I made this is the foundation row. I made this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So in total, I have 6 rounds. For this one, I have 15. For that one, I have 12. So, of course, that's because the stitches are smaller and you will need to do more rounds. But also, this one here is a bit longer than that one. So, it's preference. If you want it even shorter, you can, of course, do it shorter. That will make the production time of your glove even shorter. But I did want some coverage, and I do want it to go into the sleeve of my coat so that it's nice and warm. So here we are. So this is the last stitch. We have that chain coming out of that one. So this is going to count as a stitch after we skip it, go under the next V, and we do a slip stitch. So pull it all a little bit tighter. There we go. So now that slip stitch is over that chain. And we do the same thing again. Chain 2, and we do another round of double crochets. So these gloves can be worn left or right-handed, so there's no left or no right, so you don't need to worry about when you're putting them on. And I have found that actually this is the good side on the outside, which looks nice, but this, look, this is the wrong side on the outside, and I like that one as well. So I think, you know, whichever way you've got them, they are going to look lovely. And I don't know whether you have noticed already, I've been making them in crazy colors. So here the blue part is the hand part and the cream part is the ribbing. Here I've done it the other way around. And here I'm going to go completely crazy. And this one here I'm going to add green ribbing to it. So what does it matter what color your gloves are, as long as they're fun, right? So they're going to keep our hands warm and they are going to be a fashion statement. Well, at least I think they are. Let's start a trend, eh? So, okay, I am now on to my second row of double crochets. In total, I've done 3 rounds of double crochets. So I'm now going to continue until I have my 6 rows done. Here again, we're at the end, so skip this one because this one is already coming out of that one. Go under the next V and do a nice tight slip stitch and off we go again. Now this will go at an angle slightly. That's just the way it is because of how we end and start our rounds, but it doesn't really matter because once you're wearing them, nobody is going to notice. So I will see you now when you have your 6 rounds. So I've done my 6 rounds here. Now, so when you've finished your glove part and you're ready for the ribbing, don't do your last slip stitch. If you want to change color, this is the location to do it. So you're going to now start using the new color as if you were still crocheting with your old color. So you just pull that one through and pull it through. Your stitch will be finished in your old color, but you will be ready with your new color for your ribbing. So you then lay it down and take both ends and just tie them together so they don't move. Just a gentle knot and a second one. There we go. And now you can get on and do your ribbing. We're just going to go ahead and continue on here. So skipping the first chains there, going under the V, and I'm doing my slip stitch just like before. There we go. So now I'm going to continue doing the ribbing, and for that I'm going to need 6 chains. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this is going to be the height of my ribbing. But before we do anything else, sorry about that, you must make sure this fits nicely so I can get into my glove quite easily. And looking at the height of my ribbing, yeah, so this is going to be covered up. So that's perfect because that's the majority of my fingers and I can still sort of, you know, pull them in like this. So that's a good height. Again, if you want this taller or shorter, do less stitches, okay? So let's get started on doing the ribbing. So now we're going to keep our work like this and we're going to work this way. And we are going to do 6 stitches, but we need to do a turning chain. So you do 1 more. This is your turning chain, doesn't count. Then you yarn over. Then here you're going to find the back loop of that 6th chain. So skipping the turning chain, back loop of this one, pull up a loop, and now you do a half double crochet. So now we are doing back loop only, half double crochets. So you pick up the back loop, so the strand of the V that is sort of furthest away from you, and you do a half double crochet. So that's 3. We need to do 6, so go into here, pick that one up as well, go into there. There we go, and the last one, voila. Now, we need to attach this top to our glove part, but we are going to skip a V for the height of our half double crochets, and then we go into the next V and we do a slip stitch. So pull everything closed and do a slip stitch. So this is now finished and this is attached nicely. Now we need to do a turning chain, but of course if we do it here and now, we're not connected to this piece. So instead of a turning chain, we are going to do a slip stitch under the next stitch. There we go. So that was our turning chain. Now we turn, okay, and now we are going to start doing our half double crochets in the back loop only. So that means you have to tip the work towards you. The best thing to do for this one here is just to keep it at the back like this, so that's easier. Tip the work towards you, skip the slip stitch that you did just now, making sure you start in your 6th stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because this one here is also one that we did to connect. So make sure you don't start doing more stitches than you need to, okay? And tipping the work towards you, you will see then that back loop, and you will have to tip it because otherwise looking at it like this, you don't see the back loop. So tip it slightly just to make sure you're picking up the back loop only. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to do 2 more. So 1 more here. And now, of course, I did say back loop only. But here, for this last stitch, if we were to pick up the back loop only, we'd make quite a hole. Can you see that? The solution to that is the last stitch here, we are going to pick up both the strands of the V. So you yarn over, find the V, and pick up these 2 strands. So starting from here, pick up this one and then the back loop as well. And then we do our half double crochet, and that just gives for a nicer effect. Then we are going to chain 1, turn, and we work our way back towards the glove, doing our back loop only. So again, tip the work towards you to find the back loop and do your half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure you do 6 stitches. Then skipping 1 stitch here, do a slip stitch in the next stitch and then a slip stitch towards the next stitch as well instead of your turning chain. Turn, and you start doing half double crochets again in the back loop only. Not forgetting to use both the strands for that last stitch, and making sure that you are doing 6 stitches only in each of your little rows here. So I've got 5, this is the last one, and as you can tell, look, this and this are the ones that I'm going to pick up, so the 2 strands for extra security. There we go. And of course, if you are using thinner yarn, you will be doing a lot more of these rows because you are also having to use more stitches on your glove part, okay? I will see you when you've gone round all the way, but you have here a couple of stitches left over. Okay, so I am now here at the top, and here I have 1 chain completely free. This one is used and this one is used as well with my chain. So this is the time we are going to create our thumb hole. So this will be here. So what we're going to do now is connect both the sides together. So we're going to do a chain 1. You go into the first chain on this side, on the side you were working on, and pull up a loop. Then you go over to the other side and you find the cornermost one. You wrap the yarn around, pull up a loop, and this loop you pull through the 2 loops that are already on your hook. Then you go back to the loop on your side here, pull up a loop, go to the opposite side, again pull up a loop through one of the loops and pull that one through the loops on your hook. So this is a little closure. It's like a little zip thing that we are using here. It will make a flat V join. There we go. And of course now we have to decide how big we are going to make this hole. So I've done 3 stitches here. Let's do another one. Again, this is preference. So how many stitches you're going to leave unworked and the size of the hole. And in this one, of course, you can do quite a few. So I did 5 in my first glove, so I'm going to do 5 here as well. There we go. Look at that. And that is still big enough, of course. Let's try it out for our thumb to get through. So what you can customize here is how wide, how long, how tall, and how big your hole is. Okay, so now it is time to cut off the yarn. Get your darning needle and sew in the end. Now this one I just pulled to the back and I sew this one in here, but I just want to show you this one here because of course this one is going to need a little bit of special attention because we need to use this one to also close up our glove at the base. So I'm going to try and mimic this V here. So I'm going to go into there, pull this close, and then go back into there. So it looks like this. Yeah, and then go into it and connect both the stitches together as well. So here and there. Just so that it's closed up really, really well. There we go. Maybe another one, just anywhere under the strands that you can get is perfect. But this way, of course, we have now closed up this gap that we had in our foundation double crochet row. There we go. And I made here with different colors just to make them fun. This is turned inside out, and to be honest, I don't mind the look. So if yours get turned inside out, you don't even need to undo them and before you put them on, because they look good in both directions. So I hope you will join me in making some really crazy colored gloves and in wearing them and brightening up a cold day. These pictures show the different types of gloves I made. You will see that I have indicated the hook size, the number of stitches, the width of the gloves, and all the other details that you might need. So take a screenshot or pause the video so you can write things down of the glove in the type of yarn that you are going to make, and you will have all the details ready there for you. These gloves can easily be made from leftover yarn, so I hope you will find them an interesting make. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you will make the gloves, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!